I used to work on picture magazines for about 5 years. I used to have some very strange jobs because I was a kind of an idea man, and I liked to think of things to do which were novel and unusual. And it's very difficult to get enough material for 52 issues a year. And one day somebody told me that there was a nudist camp over in Jersey and they were going to have a marriage ceremony. And I thought that'd make a great picture story. And so I got a cameraman. And you must understand that the people who fool with cameras, the professional camera people, are hilarious people, actually. I don't mean that they're funny to mean to be funny, but they're just funny because they're so deadly serious. This was a young athlete from California, and I have a great loathing for athletes anyway. He and I did some stories together. He was a man who'd get up in the morning and walk on his hands. It's enough to make you ill. And, I mean, it's such a vulgar display of energy that early in the morning. This horror, while we were traveling, he bought himself a new pair of shorts, and of course he got a linen rash immediately. Like all athletes, he was constantly falling apart. And I, who had never taken a breath of fresh air, was forever smearing salves on him and just to get him back into shape again. Well, anyway, this character and I decided to go to this nudist camp, and they'd sent me a brochure which I hadn't read. I thought I'd read it on the way. And when we were hitting Newark, I suddenly read a special note to me that I couldn't possibly come in there unless we two, that is the cameraman and I, were also naked. Now, I'm not a terribly inhibited man, but still I've posed around in the nude very little in my life, let's face it, even in front of my closest friend. And so I was taken aback by this piece of news, and I said, listen, Joe, we got to go in there naked. He couldn't have cared less, because this was his specialty, to accept everything, whatever happened, an earthquake, a disaster. He was very stoical. Well, anyway, I said, now listen, I know Newark. Let's go 3 blocks up. There's a hock shop, and I'll buy a guitar. Because if you wear a guitar, that's not clothing. At the same time, it's almost like a pair of shorts. So, we go into a hock shop, and I put down $25, and I walk out with a guitar. And we arrive there, and we both get undressed. This boy didn't mind at all. He had his little cameras. And, but I was even better covered than he. I had a guitar. Now, the big trick I had to do was keep away from little groups under trees, because the minute a few Americans get together, they tend to vocalize, and they would have expected me to accompany them. That goes without saying. So I kept dodging around from place to place with my guitar. Finally, because I was there for the wedding, that was the big deal. And I told him, remember, when you photograph the bride, make her hold the bouquet so that she can be printed in a paper, you know, and so on. And I don't know what I was going to do with the groom. But anyway, that would come later. The upshot of it is that finally the wedding came. The minister was also nude, but he wore a collar reversed. Just to differentiate him from the rest of us. And there we were, in the bright sunshine, 24 complete imbeciles, and I with my guitar. Everything is going great, but nobody's luck holds out that long. When the ceremony was over, these two people had finally kissed. They hadn't yet, I suppose. They knew about as much about each other as they were ever going to know, I suppose, but they hadn't kissed. Tact could go no further. Well, anyway, there they were, and suddenly the minister said, and now we will have a hymn, Higher and Higher, and if Mr. King will be kind enough to give us a few chords, I want you to know that I had the excellent good taste to faint. When I woke up later in an infirmary, I knew I was outside because the nurse was completely dressed from head to foot.
On December the 24th, yes, Christmas Eve, I closed at the Tradewinds in Chicago. And the reason I mention this club, the Tradewinds, is for this reason, that with the possible exception of Dario, the maitre d' here at the Blue Angel, the Tradewinds boasts, without a doubt, the greatest maitre d' in the business. His name is Arturo. Believe me, this man is the greatest maitre d' in the business. He knows every aspect of running a nightclub. How to get the patrons in, how to get the patrons out, how to get the liquor served, how to get the liquor out, how to get the people out of the john, the guys out of the men's john, the guys out of the ladies' john. He knows every aspect. He knows how to handle... Right? Okay? He also knows every act, knows every line in every act, and as I say, it's... you feel comfortable working in a club and knowing that your temporary fortunes are in the hands of an accomplished professional. Okay, keep this in mind. The greatest maitre d' in the business, Arturo. All right, now, I am on the bill with the Peggy DeCastro 3. They have a fellow playing drums for them. His name is Ronnie DiStefano. Saturday night, 3 shows. Finish the last show, Ronnie and I go to a place called Mammy's to get some coffee. Now, it gets to be 4:45 in the morning, and Ronnie DiStefano says to me, "Hey, Pat, let's go over and catch the 5 o'clock show at Holy Name, because if you go home and go to bed, you blow the whole thing." I said, "Cool." All right. So we go over and we catch the 5 o'clock service at Holy Name Cathedral, walk in the back of the cathedral, and who is standing in the back of the cathedral doing the same shtick in the cathedral that he does in the nightclub? Arturo. Got the picture? A party of 8. Yes, sir. Right this way. Won't you come right down over here? Yeah. John, a party of 8. Put them down by the statue of St. Paul. No, thank you, sir. No, I just do this on the way. Oh, Finsky. Thank you very much. That's cool, yeah. Hello, Holy Name. Never a cover, never a minimum. Yes, every hour on the hour, and a new gospel each week. Yeah. No, the 11 o'clock suspect with Fulton Sheen, Susskind package. Yeah. Fine, we'll call you back. Padre, come here. Come here, Padre. I want to talk to you. You know that young priest, Father Bernardino? Well, his Latin is fine, but he's not ready for a high mass. Hello, Holy Name. Hello. Smoking the last 2 pews. Yes, that's right. Well, just a minute and I'll find out. It's MCA. You want Count Basie for Lent? And we'll talk to you later. Now, Padre, come here. Come here, Padre. Now, you come on, believe me, and I know because I've been in the business, you come on and you do those long sermons. Believe me, those long sermons are very goyish. I know what I'm talking about. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to come on, do 25 minutes, 1 collection, and get off. Then you come back, close with a benediction. You've got a tight 35 minutes. You can play anywhere in the country. Oops, there's your music. You're on, Padre. Give him hell. Go on, baby. Go on. True story. Thank you.
A long time ago, I worked with a torch singer, and whilst this torch singer was singing, she sang one of my favorite torch songs, and it's called Autumn Leaves, and I'd like to sing it for you. Did you hear that, English? Whilst she was singing, she sang one of my favorite torch songs. I went to such a cheap school. The autumn leaves pass by my window, and then the trees, and then the buildings. The automobiles come flying by now. The hurricane has finally come. The river overflows. I must prove my love. A raft comes floating by. Just room for one. I will miss you most of all, my darling. C'est la théâtre chier, manger chier. That's showbiz. It's dog eat dog, right? As autumn leaves start to
There
is, in all probability, no more exciting moment or place than a campaign headquarters on election night when the results are pouring in. We take you now to such a place as the campaign manager is addressing the crowd.
People, may I have your attention, please? Sober, quiet down, please. Thank you. Well, as you know, most of the returns are in, and it's beginning to look as if we've got this thing pretty well in the bag, and that Hank Duncan here is the next governor of the state. Put it there, Hank. Congratulations, fella. You did it. 4. He's a jolly good fellow. 4. He's a jolly good fellow.
Hank, I think it'd be better if you didn't sing, fella.
Nobody can deny. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, it was you people out there who did it. You put this thing across, and as a matter of fact, Hank here does want to say just a few words to you in appreciation for all that you've done. Get your glasses and sit down. As you know, at the last count, we were ahead by 400,000 votes. Put the drink down, learn the speech. We were ahead by 400,000 votes. What's that? More returns, Charlie. Thank you. Keep them coming in, fella. It's now Hank Duncan by 325,000. Well, they keep going up and down like that. Keep coming in, Charlie. What do you say? Put the drink down, learn the speech. I want to say this. I want to thank you by committee for the wonderful job you've done. I want to thank the ballot stuffing, the vote-getting committee for the way you got the people down to the polls to vote again and again and again and again. And I know Hank wants to thank you too. Right, Hank? Right. Cut him off. No more drinks. Cut him clear off. I want to say more returns. We got more returns. Thank you, Charlie. More returns. It's now Hank Duncan by 250,000 votes. Well, they keep going up and down. You know, keep them coming in, Charlie. It's all right. Black coffee. Give them black coffee. I want to thank the Slogans Committee for such winning slogans as "Throw the Grafters In," "I Drank with Hank," and "Hank Duncan, the honest man, never stole $1 in his life." And of course, he hasn't. All he asks is the opportunity. Of course, that's just a little joke. Hold him up. I want to thank personally you fellows down the southern end of the state. The way you handled the southern end of the state was just beautiful. Beautiful job down there. Wonderful, wonderful. More returns? Thank you. More wonderful job in the southern end of the state. It's now Hank Duncan by 510 votes. 510 votes? You made plenty of mistakes in the southern end of the state. Plenty, I come to think of it. Handing out "I Drank with Hank" buttons in a dry county. That's smart? That's not smart. No, that's no good. All right, you all did it. Okay, come on. What are you doing here? All right, here it is, gang. I'm losing my confidence, but I know we did it. Teamwork. We did it, all of us working together. You and Hank and I, all of us hanking together. And the final return? This is it? This is the final return. Get ready for the victory yell. We did it. Remember that word, we. You lost. You lost this election. You all did it. You threw it away. You didn't follow my orders. And I tell you this, blues it up. Give him all he wants. Give him anything to drink he wants. It's all right with me. I drank with Hank. I got gestunken with rum and Duncan if you
want. In our society, there are killers for hire, and you can reach them by a simple telephone call. If you don't believe me, listen to this telephone call I made to a house of professional killers.
Hello, can I speak to one of the extermination experts, please?
Gee, there's nobody here right now. I could have leave a message and have somebody call you in the morning.
Oh, do you think you might be able to help me?
Well, what's the problem?
Well, does your company exterminate fleas?
Yes, surely.
See, now here's the problem. I have a flea act. And I was staying at a hotel on West 47th Street. And, you know, you have to let the fleas out every night to exercise. I had 12 fleas when I started, in the act, all males. There are 15 fleas now. Obviously, the room had fleas, and 3 fleas got in with my fleas. Do you think it would be possible to have these 3 fleas exterminated?
Absolutely.
And your company would be able to pick out the fleas that don't belong with my fleas?
Well, I think we might manage it somehow, yes.
You could tell the difference between the male fleas and the female fleas?
I couldn't, but an entomologist could.
I see. Because I have a suspicion that the 3 fleas might be female fleas. Don't you think so?
I see. 3 females might have gotten mixed up with your males. Who is this?
That's right. Well,
who is this?
This is the Stern Flea Act.
Uh-huh.
I'm Mr. Stern. You've seen my act?
No.
42nd Street? Well, I wouldn't want him to kill any of my fleas.
Uh-huh. Well, I'd say you have a problem for an entomologist.
Uh-huh. And he'd kill those fleas.
Well, you'd have to determine which were which, type them all, and then eliminate the ones that weren't yours.
Righto. Is there any guarantee that my fleas wouldn't be killed?
Well, the only way you're going to kill them is to look at them under a microscope and squash them one by one, the ones you don't want.
Is there a less painful way of killing them?
Yes, but then you would also kill your fleas.
I see. Will my fleas be hurt when they're put under a microscope?
Possibly.
Well, I wouldn't want that to happen.
Well, I would strongly suggest you get a hold of an entomologist.
Right. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Buonasera. Buonasera. I am happy to be here this evening at the Blue Angel, and I will tell you something which you don't believe it. Today I play golf up in Mamaroneck, Westchester. I played a wing foot, and I enjoy. They treat me nice, but I must tell you this. They think they have a difficult course, and they don't. I know because I have played all over the world, and I know which is a difficult course and which isn't. For example, I was the head pro at the Tel Aviv Golf and Country Club. Didn't hold the job too long, about a week. I was taking a shower and the club president walked in, you know. Well, you know, Senora, that's prima facie evidence of the New Testament, you know. Also, I played golf at the most difficult course in the world, the Tanganyika Golf and Country Club. The Tanganyika is the most difficult. It's in Africa. It's in Africa and is built on the side of Kilimanjaro. Very difficult. The home pro, you know the home pro, Joseph Casavubu? He's Italian. I have the course record. I shot a 71 and 6 mau. Has been better golf play. There has been like Sammy Sned. Do you know Sam Sned? He shot 67, but just 1 mau. And he couldn't miss, was his carry. Now, the reason this is such a difficult course is because it has some of the most difficult holes in the world. For example, the 15th hole. 15th hole, 5-par hole, and is extremely difficult hole. You know why? Because you can't find the green. The green is located in the secret burial ground of the elephants, and you can't find the green. The only way to play this hole is to shoot an elephant and follow him. Sometimes you can't find an elephant, you gotta shoot a giraffe and tell him to lie about his weight. The most difficult hole of all on the course, beyond the question of no shadow of any doubt, the most difficult hole of all is the 18th hole. It's a 3-par. 215, 205. It's a 2-iron for me. The reason it's so difficult is because you gotta shoot over a pygmy village. Do you know the pygmies? You gotta shoot over a pygmy village. And if you are short, and those little sons of guns, they don't miss. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pat Harrington Jr., and I am very happy to be here at the Blue Angel. Thank you. Thank you.
The greeting card business is now a major industry in America, and the most unusual types of cards are for sale, as shown in this telephone conversation with a sales lady in a greeting card store.
Do you have any drop-dead cards?
Drop-dead cards? Just
Yeah.
a minute. Eva, do we have any drop-dead cards? I've never heard anything like it. Drop-dead cards? Sure. The party is on the one. Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
She had them, and she's checking to see if she has any left.
Oh, you know what I mean, don't you?
Drop-dead cards?
I don't mean, the humorous cards. I mean the real drop-dead cards. I'd like a card.
The real drop-dead card, he said.
That's it.
Yeah. I've heard of everything. Now, who can you send a thing like that to? You live and you learn.
Hello.
Hello.
That particular card I ran out of, I have something that says you're rotten to the core. If that could serve the same purpose.
It's rotten to the core. You got anything a little stronger? Doesn't have to say drop dead. But I'd like something a little more hateful.
Hateful. Well,
What else have you got?
we do have some cards. Would you stop in on the way home or on the way out? And I'll meanwhile pick out some and put them aside for you.
Fine. These cards aren't too funny, are they? I want this to be taken seriously.
Yes. Well, they are serious cards. I mean, because they're very insulting.
They're hate cards, is that? It's full of insult and hate.
Full of, well, not exactly. I have some. I can't say how many. There are so many cards, I have to go through the rack and find
Have you
them.
got a card
Yeah.
that would apply to somebody who's been making eyes at another man's wife? Get the picture?
Yeah.
You got something like that. Maybe with eyes on the card.
Well, I got something with eyes.
Do me a favor, will you
Yeah,
pick out the
words
worst
I could.
for dripping with hatred.
Yes, I understand.
You know what I mean? Hatred and bitterness
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
a touch of vengeance, maybe.
Okay.
I
I know what you mean.
Fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
The scene is the personal loan department of the First City Bank. The banker is speaking.
Okay, who's next? You, sir? Would you sit right down here, please? That's good. Now, what can I do for you, sir?
And, like I want you to lay some loot on me.
Oh, loot. You mean money. You want to make a loan, do you?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Now, what kind of a loan are you applying for?
Well, Daddy, what kind you pushing?
Well, there's an automobile loan, there's a medical expense loan, and a home improvement loan.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, then you want a home improvement loan. Now, what do you want to do to improve your home?
I want to get my old lady out of it.
Well, I'll just call this a personal loan.
There you go, Clyde.
Well, just fill out this form. Your name?
Lips, Elliot.
No, I want your real name, sir.
My real name? Harold.
Harold Elliott.
No, Lips Harold.
Lips Harold? That is a strange name.
Man, that's why I changed it to Elliot.
Now, let's get some information on your family. Mother?
I sure am.
No, I mean your mother's name.
Thelonious?
Thelonious is a mother?
Daddy, that's the accepted opinion.
Now, wait a minute. Have you been drinking?
No, Nikita. That's one thing about me. I never drink off the job.
What type of work do you do?
I'm a brain surgeon.
Brain surgeon?
Cool it, man. I don't have no license.
Just answer the questions, please. Now, what do you do for a living?
Man, like I'm a musician.
Musician? Who do you play with?
I play with Jimmy Lunsford.
Jimmy Lunsford. Why, that gentleman passed away many years ago.
He did? No wonder we ain't had a gig in a long time. Man, like I've been blaming it on rock and roll.
Well, don't you think you ought to do something about that?
First thing I'm going to do is stop asking him for a raise.
You mean to tell me you haven't worked in all this time?
Daddy, I've been sick here.
Sick? Do you have any physical defects?
Well, I wear a hearing aid, but I keep it turned off most of the time.
Then how do you know what people are saying to you?
Daddy, I have an answering service.
Look, I'm a very busy man. I'm afraid I can't give you a loan. You're unreliable. You're unemployed.
Now, look, Cat. All I needed was loot to get my horn out of hock and go to Seattle, Washington, where I have a gig waiting for me with a band.
Well, I don't know. What band?
Jimmy Lunsford.
Jimmy, I told you, has passed away.
There, too. Mind if I use your phone?
All right, go ahead.
Operator chick. Get me the Bismarck Hotel in Seattle, Washington. Bismarck? Room 212, please. Oh, that you, Jimmy? How you feeling, Daddy? You did? Man, that's a drag.
I'll tell you what, let's do an insane number.
You've gone and left me for somebody new. I said I'd never kiss anyone after you. Years have gone by, and now at the stroke of midnight, when all the world is fast asleep, I broke the vow I promised to keep. I just kissed my nose goodnight as I started to turn out the light. I looked into the mirror that was hung on the shelf. Woo! All at once I found I was in love with myself. I just kissed my nose goodnight, and now my future looks sunny and bright. Castles may crumble, they're just made of clay, but it is clear my nose is here and it's gonna stay. I just kissed my nose goodnight. I just kissed my nose goodnight. Good night. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Is there anything in this world you want, darling? Name it, name it. What is it, honey? Go on, talk. Kleenex, Scotties, Irish linen, Italian lace, you jabbing. Bless you. I'm treating my nose just right. What's more, we're going out Saturday night. I just bought a nose ring, you know what that means. Why, everything looks rosy for Nosy and me. I just kissed my nose good night. Everybody, cha-cha-cha. Kiss your nose good night.
Every large industry spends millions of dollars a year in advertising, and currently one of our oldest and largest industry has decided to join the parade. So I take you now to Madison Avenue and the offices of JBV&O, where a spokesman for their newest client is addressing the organization.
Thank you very much. I want you to know that I'm very happy to have your agency handling the advertising for my organization, the Mafia. I can't spend too much time talking to you. To tell you the truth, I'm not supposed to be in this country in the first place. Little difficulty there. We'll get it straightened out. Now, as you all know, my organization is involved in many different areas. There's slot machines, bookmaking, protection, and of course our most lucrative venture, the management of Italian singers. Now, a lot of people got the wrong idea about us, so we want to give you guys a chance to create a good corporate image. Get the people to look upon us as missionaries, whose sole purpose in life is to bring complete happiness to all the peoples of the world and the UN, regardless of the races and the creeds. Now, this may seem impossible, but we can do it. We can make everybody happy because we got what it takes. Narcotics. Now, if anybody that's sitting out there's a worthy idea, let us jab it with a nice pick and tie it to a slot machine and throw it in the East River to see if it floats. How about that? 2 days here with you guys in Madison, and I learned it. Raise your hand if you want to talk. Okay. You at the end of the table with a tight jacket buttoned to your Adam's apple.
Well, thank you, sir. I think it would be a great help in keeping the organization's trademark before the public eye if we could persuade Dinah Shore that when she throws that kiss at the end of her show, she should do it with a black hand.
That's an excellent idea. I like Dinah Shore. I think she's a sweet and marvelous person. She sings a great song, and her husband is a nice guy, makes a nice bedroom set. Thank you, 8 Buttons. Okay, you over there, the slender boy, the skinny suit guy. You want to say something?
Sir, I have a notion. How about sitting it down at an East Side bar to see if it scores?
All right, suddenly last summer, let's hear it.
Well, sir, it's a slogan, and it goes like this. I dreamed I danced with Lucky in my maiden-form bra.
I dreamed I danced. Gee, it's not bad, hot lips. All right, fellas, that's about it. Good luck with the campaign. I gotta run now because I want to be home in time to watch The Untouchables. They're doing my story tonight. And I want to see if I die in the end. Bye.
Now, I have a reputation for decrying the activities of psychoanalysts and psychiatrists, but that's not true. I believe that many people have been helped by psychiatry. I just decry the fact that what is so potentially a great science should be in the hands of so many charlatans and quacks and fakers who do endless damage. And I've known quite a lot of psychiatrists, and so I really know what I'm talking about. And anyway, I have decided that nowadays psychiatry's role is to make the rich contented with their lot. I lived in a house once where there were 3 psychiatrists downstairs, and one of them was called Keene, so sometimes I got his correspondence. And one day I got a wonderful magazine, a psychiatric magazine, and I've never been so entertained in my life. I instantly subscribed. They're $2.50 a copy, but I couldn't do without this magazine. The reason for it was that in the first part of it there was a story of a man who had imagined himself to be very much hated. And they don't give the name, they say Mr. X or Mr. Y. Well, anyway, Mr. X thought that he was very much hated, everyone loathed him, and now the psychiatrist, of course, this is the most common procedure, is to make the man understand that nobody loathes him, that he finds himself unlovable, and so he thinks that everyone else hates him, but he really hates himself. And as I went on reading, I realized, as they described where this man worked and the way he looked, that I knew this man very well. I'd worked with him. And I knew that we all loathed this man like poison. And I could have gone around and straightened this whole thing out. I could have gotten the psychiatrist and the wife and said, leave this guy alone. He's a disgusting brute and nobody can stand him. And don't cure him. That's the first clear view he's had of himself in years.
It's no secret that a performer is always terribly nervous and excited on an opening night, and it's quite understandable because he's worked hard, waited many years for this moment. However, this reaction is not restricted to show business. People in all endeavors feel this way when their first big break comes. So with this in mind, here is a sportscaster doing a play-by-play description of his first big game. Take it away, Phil Lusabrink. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your old friend, Phil Lusabrink, Phil Lusabrink, bringing you a play-by-play description of today's game between NY Penn and U-State. NYU and Penn State. It's a grand day in the great day in the grandstand, and the Sultan gun shines beaming on the spectator's faces. Oh, what a fright! What a sight! I see little boys are peddling popping pedal corn. Yes, and here come the bakers with their bedpans. But enough of the band, enough of the stands, and now on the field. I see the players are warming up. The referee is kicking the call off, and there goes the ball soaring sky to the high. As it comes down, one of the Penn State boys in the 5-yard line, 5-yard line, moves up the field. He's on the louse. He's on the loose. He moves up to the NYU boy, throws him a fishing tackle, flying tackle, and drowns him on the dirty clothesline. The 30-yard line. What a tackle. What a run of that boy is. He's been right up there in the state pen for quite a while. The Penn State for quite a while. Now the boys are going back to the puddle, back to the hotel. Back to the huddle, comes the strangling his by the screens, the ball is scrapped, and as the center plunge, but he only gained about 5 pounds. The 5 yards. But wait, something's been hurt. He's flying on the bat of his back out there. What he needs is first aid. I see the doctor is rushing across the bag with the stadium in his hand. Across the stadium with the bag in his hand, he's kneeling the boy's side, working feverishly, and the crowd is going mad. But a beer comes up from the stand. A cheer comes up from the stand. He has shaved the player's life. Saved the player's life. I'm a little choking my squeal. I twist the little tongues up. I better turn the mic over to Mike. The mic over to Nick. I'll see you later.